In 1996, a sheep named Dolly made history. She was the first mammal cloned from an adult cell. This breakthrough sent ripples throughout the scientific community and beyond. Dolly's existence proved that we could create an identical genetic copy of a living being. This ignited our imaginations and ignited our fears. Before Dolly, cloning was a concept confined to science fiction. We imagined worlds with armies of identical soldiers or utopian societies with perfect humans. Dolly's arrival shattered the barrier between fiction and reality. It brought the possibility and the peril of cloning into sharp focus. The world watched as Dolly, the sheep that was never supposed to exist, lived a surprisingly normal life. She grazed, she slept, and she even gave birth to lambs. This seemingly ordinary existence had profound implications. It showed us that clones were not monsters. They were capable of life, love, and loss, just like any other being. Dolly's legacy is complex. She is a testament to human ingenuity, a symbol of scientific progress, and a harbinger of the ethical dilemmas to come. Her creation forced us to confront uncomfortable questions about the very nature of life and our right to manipulate it. Fast forward to the world of The Sixth Day, a film that explores the ethical and societal implications of human cloning. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Adam Gibson, a family man who returns home to find a clone has taken his place. This chilling discovery thrusts him into a conspiracy that challenges everything he thought he knew about life, identity, and the future of humanity. In this fictional world, human cloning is illegal, yet a powerful corporation secretly provides this service to the wealthy and influential. The film paints a picture of a future where the lines between human and artificial become blurred, and the very essence of what it means to be human is up for debate. Adam's journey forces us to confront our own beliefs about cloning. Is it a violation of human dignity, or a natural progression of scientific advancement? Are clones merely copies, or are they individuals deserving of the same rights and respect as any other human being? The Sixth Day serves as a cautionary tale, a glimpse into a future where technology has outpaced our ethics. It compels us to consider the potential consequences of our actions and to engage in a dialogue about the kind of future we want to create. The prospect of human cloning takes us into ethically uncharted territory. It challenges our deeply held beliefs about the sanctity of life, the role of creation, and the definition of humanity itself. The ability to create life in our own image raises profound moral questions that we, as a society, are still grappling with. One of the most contentious issues is the moral status of a clone. Are clones individuals with their own unique identities, or are they merely copies of their originals? Do they possess the same rights and freedoms as any other human being? These questions strike at the very heart of what it means to be human. Opponents of cloning often argue that it is tantamount to playing God, that we are overstepping our bounds by manipulating the building blocks of life. They worry about the potential for abuse, the creation of designer babies, and the commodification of human life. These are legitimate concerns that demand careful consideration. On the other hand, proponents of cloning argue that it could offer tremendous benefits, such as curing diseases, ending infertility, and even bringing back loved ones from the dead. While these potential benefits are tantalizing, they come with a hefty price tag, forcing us to weigh scientific progress against our ethical responsibilities. Cloning might seem like science fiction, but the basic principles are surprisingly straightforward. In essence, cloning involves taking the genetic material from one organism and creating an identical copy of it. This is achieved through a process called somatic cell nuclear transfer. Imagine a cell as a tiny city, and inside that city, the nucleus is the town hall containing all the blueprints, or DNA, for the entire organism. In cloning, scientists take the nucleus from a cell of the animal or person they want to clone and implant it into an egg cell that has had its own nucleus removed. This egg, now carrying the genetic material of the donor, is then stimulated to divide and grow, eventually developing into an embryo. If all goes according to plan, this embryo can then be implanted into a surrogate mother, where it will develop and be born just like any other offspring. While the science behind cloning is relatively simple, the success rate is still quite low. Cloning is a complex and delicate procedure, and there are many points where things can go wrong. This is especially true for human cloning, which faces additional ethical and logistical challenges. Section 5: Identity Crisis: The Cloned Self in Society. The concept of cloning throws a wrench into our understanding of identity. If you can create an exact genetic replica of a person, does that mean they will be the same person? What happens to the sense of self when you are confronted with your own double? Imagine a world where you could encounter someone who looks exactly like you, shares your memories, and even possesses your mannerisms. This raises profound questions about the nature of individuality, the role of genetics versus environment, and the very essence of what makes us unique. In The Sixth Day, Adam Gibson is forced to confront these questions head-on when he comes face-to-face with his clone. The clone, though genetically identical, is a blank slate, a tabula rasa, upon which experiences and choices will inscribe a different life story. This raises the intriguing possibility that while clones may share the same genetic blueprint, they are ultimately shaped by their own unique experiences and interactions with the world. Just like identical twins, clones are individuals in their own right, deserving of the same respect and recognition as any other human being. Section 6. Legal Labyrinths, Navigating the Cloning Conundrum. The legal implications of cloning are as complex as the ethical dilemmas it poses. Clones would necessitate a complete overhaul of our legal system. If a clone is legally recognized, they would be entitled to the same rights as any other citizen. This includes the right to life, liberty, and security of person. However, the question of parentage becomes murky. Who is the legal parent of a clone? Is it the person who donated the genetic material, or the surrogate who carried the clone to term? These are complex questions with no easy answers. Furthermore, the issue of intellectual property rights adds complexity. If someone clones a famous artist or scientist, who owns the rights to their creations? Does the clone inherit the intellectual property of the original, or are they considered a separate entity? These are just a few of the legal challenges that cloning presents. Section 7. Familial fabric ripples in the family pond. The introduction of cloning into the family dynamic has the potential to disrupt traditional roles and relationships. What happens to the concept of parenthood when you can create a genetic copy of yourself or a deceased loved one? How would children cope with having a cloned sibling or parent? Imagine a family where a couple chooses to clone a child who died tragically. While this might offer them a sense of closure or a chance to relive precious moments, it also raises concerns about the emotional well-being of the cloned child. Would they be constantly compared to their deceased counterpart, living under the shadow of someone they could never truly be? Cloning could also exacerbate existing inequalities. What if only the wealthy had access to cloning technology? Would this lead to a society further stratified by genetics, where the rich could essentially buy immortality or create offspring with desired traits? These are just some of the ways in which cloning could impact the family unit and society as a whole. As we venture into this uncharted territory, we must proceed with caution and compassion, recognizing the profound impact this technology could have on the very fabric of our social structures. Section 8. Future Echoes. Cloning in Tomorrow's World. The future of cloning remains uncertain. While it presents tantalizing possibilities for medical advancements and pushing the boundaries of human potential, it also raises profound ethical and societal questions that we are still struggling to answer. One thing is certain: cloning is here to stay. As technology advances and becomes more accessible, we can expect to see more applications of cloning, both in the realm of scientific research and in practical applications. The challenge for us as a society is to harness the power of cloning responsibly while mitigating its potential risks. This requires open dialogue, thoughtful regulation, and a commitment to ensuring that this technology is used for the betterment of humanity, not for its detriment. Whether cloning will lead to a utopian future or a dystopian nightmare remains to be seen. Ultimately, the fate of cloning, and perhaps even the fate of humanity itself, rests in our hands. It is up to us to decide how we will wield this powerful tool and what kind of future we want to create for ourselves and for generations to come. Section 9. Conclusion: Our cloned future, a promise or peril? The prospect of cloning, once a figment of science fiction, is now a tangible reality. It holds both immense promise and potential peril, presenting us with a profound ethical and scientific crossroads. As we stand at the cusp of this brave new world, we must proceed with caution, guided by wisdom and a deep respect for the sanctity of life. The story of Adam Gibson in The Sixth Day serves as a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding cloning. It compels us to confront uncomfortable questions about identity, individuality, and the very essence of what it means to be human. Ultimately, the future of cloning is in our hands. It is up to us to decide how this technology will shape our world and to ensure that it is used responsibly and ethically. The choices we make today will determine whether cloning will be remembered as a triumph of human ingenuity or a tragic misstep in our evolutionary journey.